Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day, sending positivity and good vibes your way. We are talking Love Island USA, you guys, because it is the gift that keeps on giving. For some reason, I don't find this to be the messiest cast, but we're getting the most mess postseason, you guys, if that makes sense, because this is one of the messiest breakups that we have encountered. I think this is what we were expecting with J-Lub in season 2, but ultimately, you know, Justine decided not to talk, and really Caleb went into hiding, so in witness protection somewhere. So we never really got the he said, she said, or the interviews of anybody explicitly explaining anything, other than both kind of implied, you know, certain things, as well as the picture that Caleb's sister basically dropped that ended the relationship, at least publicly, right? So, as you guys know, I've been doing videos on the fallout because Zeta did an interview, and now she's doing posts on her blog as well when she knew it was over. And as you guys know, I had been doing videos on Timmy Swerve's sister, because she has been speaking out a lot on Instagram, and basically now possibly looking into sending Zeta a cease and desist because of the fact that she feels that Zeta, you know, basically putting out their potential incest rumors about her brother, putting out their potentially, you know, alleged things that she is claiming that she said that she's claiming isn't true, such as telling Zimmy, or not telling Zimmy, telling Timmy before he goes on to Love Island USA to choose a dark-skinned black woman because America loves that, and that increases your chances of likely being the winner for this season. So we will see if that materializes, but I wanted to discuss Timmy Swerve, Timmy, because, you know, he's been kind of laying low, right? He's been laying low until this Zeta interview, right? And then he's kind of just been saying something every day, whether it was a live or, you know, he has a podcast interview coming out, I believe, within the next day or two with somebody. And somehow he has connected with TMZ, you guys, because nothing says clout chasing like doing an interview with TMZ, because I am sure that TMZ was really trying to reach out to Timmy and had him on speed dial and knew exactly where Timmy was going to be in LA to ask these questions about him and Zeta, you guys. So let's take a listen to this, and then I'm going to react.
How's you and Zeta? Are you guys still together? Because I'm hearing different things, you know?
Yeah, no, we broke up. We're done right now. We officially broke up.
Wait, when did this happen?
This happened a couple days ago. I mean, for a while, we actually haven't been on speaking terms, but it officially happened at the top of this year.
Dang, I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, what was the real reason you guys broke?
It's a couple things, but the romance after the show ran thin. I'll admit that was on my part. I wasn't able to move forward in a romance for reasons that she is aware of. And yeah, it kind of just ran thin for us. And yeah.
Wait, so does that mean you guys are you guys on speaking terms? Like, are you guys friends? I mean, what's
We're not speaking. I don't think she wants to be my friend, but that's always going to be open. And, you know, for right now, I'm just kind of laying low.
I mean, but, you know, for reality stars just like yourself, I mean, do you think that there's a pressure from coming out on a show like that and having to stay together? I mean, do you think that maybe that pressure got to you guys? Or, I mean, is there pressure with you guys having to stay together after the show?
Yeah, there's a lot of stressors after the show. People want to see you together. There's a lot of business involved, and we did agree, me and Zeta agreed to move forward in a business manner. And that I think that was just tough for her on her side. And the romance just never was able to be figured out. On either side, there was a lot of button heads. We were very combative, and it was, you know, she's fully aware of the issues we had and why I wasn't able to move forward.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so what's next for you now that you're single, Timmy? I mean, I'm sure girls are gonna be jumping in the DMs. I mean, what's next?
You know what? I'm gonna mind my business, lay low, hide under the rock somewhere.
So that was Timmy again, talking to somebody from TMZ, out on the street somewhere. I'm assuming in LA. I apologize for the background noise. It was more than likely, the cars and everything else taking place in LA and all of the traffic and things of that nature that you guys know. So essentially a couple of takeaways from this. So this is according to Timmy's side of things, is allegedly they have been broken up. It sounds like they were broken up since last year, you guys, but made it official at quote unquote the top of this year. Well, the top of this year would have been the first week in January. And, today is January 23rd, you guys, right? Today is January 23rd. Those of you who are in a certain part of the world. But if that is the case, then we are talking about potentially a month or even more almost that Timmy and Zeta were actually broken up for, you guys. Because he said prior to that, they weren't even on speaking terms, which would indicate they weren't even talking around the holidays, you guys. Right? So I want to know officially when this romance actually, or this quote unquote relationship or whatever it was, actually ended. Because according to Timmy, he's making it seem as though he told Zeta immediately once the show wrapped that they were not going to be moving forward romantically. And he is saying in this TMZ interview that she knows why they were not moving forward romantically, but basically feels as though there was pressure for them as a couple to last amongst the fans and everything else. And then he also dropped another nugget and is basically saying that they were both committed to Zimmy the brand, Zimmy the business transaction, Zimmy the potential brand deals and exposure and opportunities that can come from quote unquote appearing as a couple that won Love Island, you guys. However, that couldn't materialize, right? That couldn't materialize because Timmy is saying they quote unquote kept butting heads. And it sounds as though, if you read between the lines, that Zeta had real romantic feelings towards Timmy. So therefore just trying to, only connect as it pertained to business, only to connect only as it pertained to brand deals, and then nothing personal, nothing romantic, nothing like you experienced on the show. And then, to try to just pretend to separate yourself from all of that, I would imagine would have been difficult, right? I imagine that would have been difficult. I imagine that would have caused a lot of frustration, a lot of angst, and everything else. And ultimately, Zeta couldn't do it anymore, right? She could not be a person who is going to fake a relationship or fake being a couple just to get opportunities, just to get brand deals. However, Timmy was fully on board with that, you guys. Timmy was fully on board with that, right? And so again, it begs the question, you guys, on how many winners on these dating shows are promised all of these things and feel as though, is there a contract involved that they have to stay together 3, 6, 9 months to a year? Depending on the show, depending on what the clauses are. Is that what Timmy is trying to basically say? That he was fine to stay together as long as it was to promote Zimmy, and as long as it led to money and financial benefits and clout opportunities and more followers. Boy, the more that Zeta tried to push for the romance side of things, even though she quote unquote allegedly knew why he was not going to pursue things with her romantically. And the way that he is saying that, so matter of fact, is either A, he has a girlfriend, or B, he shut down Zeta immediately when the show wrapped, that they were not going to be moving forward in that direction, or C, who knows, you guys. C, who knows, because there's all kinds of speculation that is happening that is out there, you guys. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, I feel as though, these two were never compatible, you guys. He's talking about them butting heads. They butt heads in the villa. Before there were any tests or any bombshells that came through that really caused havoc, you guys. But again, for whatever reason, they decided, what, we're going to stick this out and we're going to find our way back to each other, even though it's completely toxic, you guys. Even though it is completely toxic and not necessary to do, right? But we should know by now that 9 times out of 10, that if it is the couple that wins the show, 9 times out of 10, they're the most likely to break up the quickest, right? Out of everybody. Because as you guys can see, Sydney and Isaiah are still together when it's all said and done, which is interesting in itself, because it's interesting that they usually show the couples that have the most issues, that appear to be the most problematic on the actual show, on the actual edit. And those are actually the couples that end up lasting, right? Because you see some wild things happening, and I don't know if it means that they're quote unquote embracing the full Love Island experience or whatever it is, but it happens every single season, you guys. Every single season, the messiest couple, the messiest situations, they end up staying together, right? Last season, it was Will and Kyra. I think they briefly broke up, and they're back together still. Season 2, I believe there was, I don't even want to go there with season 2 because it was just a lot. But season 1, Caro and Ray, they actually stayed together, I believe, the longest. However, at some point in time, she found out that he had cheated on her. And as you guys know, they did 2 more reality shows. They did X on the Beach as well as The Amazing Race, you guys. So they were willing to keep up something in the event that they were still getting a lot of offers for TV shows that was with, both CBS as well as MTV. So it's just a lot, you guys. It's just a lot. I just hope that, whenever this interview comes out with Timmy, with this podcast or what have you, that it just puts the final, touches and closes the door, and you either believe him or you don't believe him or whatever. But I fear that this is going to be another back and forth situation, because with how hard Zito was going at the beginning when the show immediately ended about really trying to prove how legitimate Zimmy was, and trying to prove, all of these things with her and Timmy, it actually felt as though they were already over at that point, right? It already felt as though they were already donezo, but again, still wanted to prove to the fans that, hey, we're still together, this and that. And even a couple of days ago saying that her and Timmy were still together. And according to Timmy in this TMZ interview, he's basically saying they haven't spoken in weeks. And basically she just did this interview out of the blue, so that was their breakup confirmation. But basically, they officially had broken up a few weeks ago, and they weren't even on speaking terms at the end of last year, according to this TMZ soundbite, you guys. So it is just a hot mess, and hopefully, everybody, gets their mental health in order, gets their mental health checked, and let's not do this tit for tat. Let's not do this back and forth. Say your piece and let's be done with it, right? So there is that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.